Welcome to my channel, C.S. Lewis Spirit. In today's story, the angels know your future, the demons want to change it. We step into a world that feels both invisible and uncomfortably close. A world where every thought, every choice, every dream you have is watched, not only by heaven, but by something else too. It began on a quiet night. The sky was still, but the air carried a strange heaviness, the kind that makes your soul pause before your mind does. David sat alone at his desk, staring at an old Bible his grandmother had left behind. Its pages were worn, the ink faded, but there was something about that book he couldn't explain. For nights he'd been dreaming of the same voice whispering his name, showing him places he'd never been, places that felt more real than the world he woke up to. In his dreams, he wasn't alone. There was light, and there was something darker watching from the edge, a shadow that seemed to know him better than he knew himself. Each time he tried to look closer, he woke up shaking, the sound of wings fading in his ears. He thought it was just his imagination, until the signs began. The flickering lights, the numbers repeating, the sudden, unexplainable sense that someone was standing right behind him, even when the room was empty. That night, David found an old note tucked inside the Bible. It was written in his grandmother's trembling handwriting. The angels already know your future, but the demons will try to rewrite it. He read it again and again, not understanding what it meant, until his phone rang. No caller ID, only static. Then a voice, faint and broken. Don't trust the dreams. They're trying to change what's written. From that moment, everything began to shift. His friends started acting strange, speaking words they swore they never said. His own reflection lingered a second too long in the mirror. And sometimes, when he closed his eyes, he could see faint outlines of wings, both made of light and of smoke, circling above him. Was he chosen or hunted? He didn't know. All he knew was that something sacred had been opened, and something dark was trying to close it. The battle for his destiny had already begun. But the real question was, who had written it first? The angels who knew his path, or the demons who wanted to change it? And before the night ended, David would learn that the fight for his future wasn't happening around him. It was happening inside him. That night, David couldn't sleep. Every time he closed his eyes, he felt that same strange pull, like two forces tugging at his soul from opposite directions. One felt warm and peaceful, like sunlight touching water. The other was cold and sharp, whispering that his future wasn't his own anymore. He tried to ignore it, convincing himself it was just stress. But deep down, he knew something had changed. The next morning, his friend Leah called. She sounded worried. She'd had the same dream. A city covered in smoke, a bell ringing in the distance, and David standing at the center, surrounded by light and shadow. She said an angel was watching over him, but a dark presence was rewriting what was meant to happen. David froze. How could she have seen the same thing? It wasn't just his imagination anymore. He went back to the Bible and found another message written in the margins, as if added later. When your path is seen, heaven prepares. But when it's touched, the battle begins. That sentence echoed in his mind. It made him wonder, had someone already touched his path? Strange coincidences began to multiply. He'd think of someone and they'd call within seconds. Streetlights flickered when he walked by. Even his dreams started changing, showing glimpses of events that hadn't happened yet. And each time he tried to change what he saw, something in reality shifted too. Leah warned him that not every sign was from the light. They mimic what's holy, she said quietly, just to twist your faith. David didn't know whom to believe anymore, the voice that calmed him, or the one that promised to reveal the truth. And somewhere between those whispers, his destiny waited watching. The days that followed felt like walking through a dream he couldn't wake from. David's world was unraveling slowly, quietly, not with chaos, but with silence that pressed against his mind. The line between what was real and what was spiritual began to blur. He could hear faint echoes, wings, whispers, something moving just beyond his sight. Each time he prayed, a strange chill followed, as if someone else was listening too. One evening, while driving home, his car radio flickered on by itself. A voice came through the static, soft, calm, but heavy with warning. The time has been marked. You must choose which future will stand. The lights on the road dimmed for a moment, and David felt that same pull inside him, light and darkness fighting to be heard. He gripped the steering wheel, whispering a prayer, but his own voice trembled. Leah came over that night, holding her grandmother's old cross. "They're fighting over your future," she said, "but they need your choice to tip the balance." Her words struck something deep inside him. Could a single choice really shift the course of his life, or even more? Then, something strange happened. The clocks in the house all stopped at the same time, 11:11. A sound like distant thunder rolled across the sky, though the night was clear. The air grew thick, almost alive, and David felt it. A presence filling the room, both holy and heavy. The light from the lamp flickered, stretching his shadow across the wall. For a brief second, it didn't look like his own. He could feel two forces standing on either side of him, unseen but real, waiting for his answer. And as the air turned still, a voice whispered his name one last time. David froze when he heard his name. The sound was gentle but carried something impossible. It echoed inside his mind, not in the room. He turned, but no one was there. Leah looked at him, pale, clutching the cross tighter. The air around them began to hum softly, almost like distant music, and the lamp's light bent toward the Bible still open on the table. One page had turned by itself, stopping at a verse he didn't remember seeing before. The ink shimmered faintly as if it were freshly written. When the future is known to two sides, only truth can hold it still. David whispered the words, and at that moment, his reflection in the window blinked, though he hadn't. He stumbled back, his heart pounding. For a split second, his reflection smiled at him, slow and knowing, before fading back to normal. Leah gasped, whispering, "It's begun." Before he could ask what she meant, the radio came alive again, though it wasn't plugged in. A distorted voice broke through the static, repeating the same words over and over. "You were never meant to see the plan." The sound filled the room, every object vibrating as if reacting to the message. Then silence. David's phone buzzed, an unknown number, sending a single message. "The angel who guards you once fell." The message sent a chill down his spine. He thought of the dreams, of the wings both light and shadow. What if the presence guiding him wasn't what he believed? What if the force he trusted was the one trying to change his destiny all along? The realization cracked something inside him, the idea that the line between angel and demon wasn't as clear as he thought. Leah's eyes widened as she looked behind him. "David, it's not alone anymore." He turned slowly, feeling the weight of invisible eyes pressing against him. The air shimmered faintly, like heat over glass, and a faint shape began to form. Wings unfolding in silence, half light, half darkness. David couldn't tell whether it had come to protect him, or to finish what had already begun. And as the lights went out, a whisper broke the silence. The war for your soul was never about faith, it was about time.